How's it going? Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 177 of the Get Shit Done Show. My name's Tellman, and this is episode 177 because there have been 177 days in 2025. We started on January 1st. Today's topic, self-hypnosis. So what is self-hypnosis? Why are we even talking about it? I first discovered self-hypnosis way back in the day. In college, I was interested in peak performance for distance running. I was interested in perception and our ability to perceive things outside of just the physical world. I was interested in altered states. I was interested in dreams, studying all this stuff. And one of the things that I ended up writing a few papers on was hypnosis. And I was looking into the flow state specifically for distance running. And I encountered hypnosis and self-hypnosis. And so I started studying it and writing a few papers about it. And I ended up becoming quite fascinated because I created some self-hypnosis tapes on cassette that I used to more easily enter the flow state with running. I was running on a competitive level, national level in college, and it worked, right? I was able to train and race in the flow state more often. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool stuff, right? This is back in like 1996, 7, 8, 96, 97. And I thought to myself, well, if I can focus to this degree while I'm running, and if I can use hypnosis to help my mind to focus and enter this flow state while I'm running, maybe I could use it to enter the flow state while I'm studying. Maybe I could use it while I'm reading. Because I very often had a challenging time with aspects of academics, right? Memorizing things I had a hard time with. Doing homework, right? A lot of the more boring aspects of academics just didn't sit well with me. And reading textbooks for hours at a time and retaining the information and be able to do something with it, I had a hard time with. And so I used self-hypnosis, and then suddenly I was getting straight A's for the first time in my life. So that was before I became a hypnotist, before I became a hypnotherapist. I started studying self-hypnosis. And so I used it with myself with great success, and then started studying more about it and eventually became a hypnotherapist. But quite a few years ago, I wrote a book called All Hypnosis is Self-Hypnosis. And I created a course, a training program that, as far as I can tell, is the most thorough, detailed, and comprehensive self-hypnosis training course that's ever been created to date. It was called the Self-Hypnosis Sequence, and we trained tens of thousands of individuals how to use self-hypnosis. And the Self-Hypnosis Sequence is kind of self-hypnosis Tellman style. And I'd like to share with you a couple of the aspects of my self-hypnosis formula if you're interested. If you have questions about hypnosis or self-hypnosis, please ask them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Good to see you all here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're just joining us, my name is Tellman Knudsen. This is the Get Shit Done Show. We go live every day. This is episode 177, and today we're talking about self-hypnosis. So self-hypnosis is a process that you can use to enter what's called the hypnagogic state, or the state between being awake and asleep, where accelerated learning is possible, where you can learn new habits, new thoughts, new ways of behaving, new ways of feeling, where you can create new beliefs very, very, very quickly, much faster than you can through practice and willpower, which is traditionally how we learn something new, practice and willpower, right? Consistency. Hypnosis is an accelerator. It's a shortcut. And so you can use self-hypnosis to get you there faster. That's kind of the whole idea here. So hypnosis is interesting because it's something that you want to be very directed with, right? It's kind of modern Western meditation in that way. It's super practical, right? Generally speaking, you're either solving a problem with hypnosis, meaning you're fixing, quote unquote, a bad habit, or you're creating a new habit or improving an existing habit or skill set, right? And so the most common uses of hypnosis often are weight loss. Many people have quit smoking cigarettes with hypnosis. Now people are using hypnosis to quit smoking marijuana. Um, Stress and anxiety reduction, fears and phobias, which are often anxiety related behaviors. Most other addictions, hypnosis is great for, whether they be chemical or psychological or both. Um, Hypnosis is really, really good for more intangible things like self-confidence or money mindset. I've found that hypnosis is really great for helping people become better salespeople. So if you wanted to improve your sales skills, you can use hypnosis to supercharge your sales skills. Generally, if you want to change or improve anything else about yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, hypnosis can probably help you. And so the tool of self-hypnosis is then how you move into that state where you can learn these habits more quickly. And then you use what are called suggestions. There are direct suggestions, there are indirect suggestions, there are um, thought processes you can bring yourself through. You can use Ericksonian hypnosis and storytelling techniques, but for today's purposes, we'll just talk about direct suggestions. So, generally speaking, the way I like to teach self hypnosis is you start by deciding what is the habit or skill you want to install or improve that's going to make your life better, right? So, do you want to be more calm, comfortable, confident, even charismatic in social situations, for example? Who wouldn't, right? So, step one is figure out what you're trying to accomplish with the session. That's the focus. That's the purpose of the hypnosis session or the series of hypnosis sessions that you're doing. You're working with someone on a particular issue or around a particular topic, right? Then you get to work. So step one is um, what is your intention for the session? Now you want to begin with the induction. The induction is the part where you go from being in wide awake alert consciousness to a more relaxed state. You go from the beta wave brain wave activity into the alpha activity, right? You slow down a little bit. So you go from beta to alpha, and then from alpha to theta. And then if you're going into deeper sleep, theta to delta, right? So we stay generally in the alpha theta range with hypnosis and self hypnosis. And so you go down into that alpha theta range. Often the progressive relaxation type technique is what's used in most hypnosis sessions most of the time. 80% of the time works great for most people, right? So, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different induction techniques. But the progressive relaxation is your kind of standard physical body and mental relaxation process from the top of your head all the way down through the tip of your toes. If you listen to any of my hypnosis sessions, you've heard it 1,000 times, right? So progressive relaxation. The next piece is the deepener, right? And the deepener is where you go deeper into hypnosis. As you can imagine, you become dramatically more relaxed, more mentally relaxed, more physically relaxed, drifting deeper into the dream state. And so, as we begin to go more deeply, often a deepener, very common, probably the most common deepener is the staircase, where you take 10, you count down from 10 to 1, and each step that you take down the staircase, you go 10 to 100 times deeper with each step. And I'm going to count down now, and you take the steps down, and you're exceptionally deep into hypnosis by the end of a good deepener. In many cases, you can hear the sound of the hypnotist's voice, but you might be completely unaware of your body, right? And you might see or hear things as if you're in a dream, right? And you're deeply into hypnosis. And so that's the deepener. Then the question with self-hypnosis is what happens with the suggestions? Well, it really depends. Are you creating a recording for yourself? easier than ever these days, or are you trying to mentally hold on to your suggestions? So what I recommend that people do is, before you get started with your hypnosis session or your self-hypnosis session, is you quite literally write down what you want the suggestions to be that you're going to give to yourself. And you write them down on a piece of paper, right? And then in the hypnosis session, the technique that I use is to upload that file directly into your subconscious mind. So you've taken the time to write it down physically on a piece of paper ahead of time, what the suggestions are. Maybe you remember them consciously, maybe you don't at the time that they're delivered, but now that file is uploaded and you're ready to go, right? And you can, if you are creating a recording for yourself, of course, you can verbalize those suggestions, whether they're direct suggestions, whether they're indirect suggestions, whether it's a metaphor, whether it's Ericksonian style, whether you are using any of the more complex type of processes you can learn in more advanced hypnosis or NLP or whatever. It's all good, but at the end of the day, what are the specific changes, improvements, enhancements you're looking to make? This is where you want to have that in your hypnosis session, in your hypnosis outline, in your hypnosis script, or in the process that you're going through. So after your suggestions, which, by the way, for more advanced stuff, of course, can be interwoven through the entire hypnosis script, but just for basics, just to get started, having these separate sections makes it simpler. So we started with your intention, then we went into the induction, then we went into the deepener. Now we're in the suggestions, right? And then essentially it's time for the callback, right? After you've implanted the suggestion successfully, then you do the callback, and that's bringing yourself or bringing someone else back to wide awake alert consciousness. And so this is the super slimmed down, super streamlined version of how self-hypnosis works, in my experience and opinion. If you're interested in hypnosis, if you're interested in learning more, this is the Get Shit Done show. My name is Tellman Knutson. This is episode 177. We go live every day. If you're interested in getting more shit done, increasing your productivity, supercharging your ability to have more free time, to make more money in the time you have, then join us. Join the productivity community at getshitdone.com. That would be awesome to see you there, and you'll actually get to experience hypnosis for yourself if you wish, because I give you a free hypnosis session right there at getshitdone.com. So come check it out. Number 2 is if you are a longtime follower. I know we have a lot of people who tune in and watch the episodes on an ongoing basis. If you've been watching the Get Shit Done show for a while, or if you've been following me for the last 20 years since I've been doing stuff online, then if you'd like to work with me personally, you can book a session at workwithtellman.com. 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 And right now I have a special offer going where you can name your own price on your first hypnosis session. So if you want to book a private session with me and start working together to explore your subconscious mind and all of the possibilities that could be unlocked, then I encourage you to go over to workwithtellman.com and book a session. And I would love to see you on Zoom, or who knows, if you're local, maybe in person. I'm opening up a new local office here in Brattleboro, Vermont in the not too distant future. So let me know. This is Tellman Knutson. Thank you guys for tuning in and showing up. Really good to see you all, and see you on the other side. Over and out. Have a great night. Bye-bye.